average annual cost of electricity used in retail buildings in the United States is $1.21 per square foot. For a box retail store, electricity costs can exceed $250,000 per year. In many climates, air conditioning accounts for 25 to 50% of these costs, largely because the need for cooling coincides with peak electrical demand when electricity costs may be at a premium. Although newer variable speed air conditioners can reduce annual electricity consumption by 50%, they do not provide much savings during peak electrical demand. This is because the hotter it gets outside, the harder the air conditioner's compressor has to work to cool the air. Once the temperature gets high enough, even high-efficiency vapor compression systems provide minimal gains over standard equipment. This is not true for evaporative cooling technologies. They improve their efficiency as the outdoor air temperature rises, reducing both overall energy consumption and peak electrical demand. Evaporative cooling has been used for years with varying degrees of success. When they hear the term evaporative cooling, some people think of leaky swamp coolers. But evaporative cooling has successfully been used for decades in large chiller plants. After years of technology development, similar strategies have been created for smaller scale application on commercial buildings. Numerous modern evaporative technologies have proven effective through third-party testing, and customers are reaping the energy savings they deliver. One such third-party testing facility is the UC Davis Western Cooling Efficiency Center, or WCEC, the makers of this video. The WCEC researches, develops, and demonstrates technologies, including evaporative cooling technologies, that address both overall energy consumption and peak demand. A variety of evaporative cooling strategies exist for commercial buildings, and they can be categorized into two broad groups: condenser air pre-coolers and ventilation air coolers. This video will explain one evaporative ventilation air cooler called Climate Wizard. Climate Wizard is a standalone technology that delivers 100% cooled ventilation air. It uses significantly less electricity than a standard rooftop air conditioner and adds no humidity to the building. It does this by using an indirect evaporative cooling process. Let's explain that further. The heat exchanger in the Climate Wizard is made up of a series of alternating wet channels and dry channels, which are designed to transfer heat between them. Hot outdoor air enters the dry channels of the heat exchanger through a high-efficiency fan. After air passes through the dry channels, a portion of the air is supplied to the building, and the rest returns through the wet channels. This is where the evaporative cooling process takes place. The evaporative process cools the wet channel walls. As these walls cool, they absorb heat from the dry channel air, cooling the air delivered to the building. The portion of air supplied to the building is controlled by a damper that is set for the specific application. This process allows the Climate Wizard to deliver air to the building at a much lower temperature than traditional evaporative systems. This has benefits for both energy consumption and occupant comfort. Delivering 100% outdoor air, the Climate Wizard can improve indoor air quality by increasing ventilation rates to a building. Because it uses indirect evaporative cooling, where the wet channel air cools the dry channel air without any direct contact between the two, Climate Wizard does not add humidity to the building. So, although the system uses water to achieve evaporative cooling, only heat is exchanged and no moisture is added to the building. Climate Wizard is effective in a range of climates and applications, but the energy savings achieved increases as outdoor temperature increases and humidity decreases. So, Climate Wizard is particularly well suited for hot, dry climates. Most of the western United States is suitable for Climate Wizard, and indeed Climate Wizard units have been installed in such places as San Diego, Sacramento, San Francisco, Las Vegas, and Denver. Independent field tests by UC Davis's Western Cooling Efficiency Center and others have shown peak electrical demand reductions up to 60% and energy savings as high as 70%. Of course, total energy savings depends on the specific conditions in which the technology is applied. As with any cooling efficiency strategy, greater savings are possible in buildings with large cooling loads and longer operating schedules. On its website, the manufacturer provides a cooling performance calculator to help determine how much electricity the Climate Wizard might save on a particular building, given its individual characteristics. Depending on the needs of a building, Climate Wizard can work alongside rooftop air conditioners or replace them altogether. With Climate Wizard, 100% of the air delivered to the space is outdoor air with no additional humidity. This makes Climate Wizard an appropriate technology for spaces that require cooling and ventilation air, including those that need relatively dry conditions. Sealy's indirect evaporative technologies, which includes Climate Wizard, have been installed worldwide in wineries, data centers, car dealerships, manufacturing facilities, theaters and recreation spaces, restaurants, university buildings, and more. Hundreds of Climate Wizard units have been installed in California for a diverse range of customers. Like all HVAC equipment, Climate Wizard units require ongoing maintenance to ensure that they continue to function reliably. Service contracts are available from distributors and installing contractors. As an example, L&H Air, which serves Northern California, offers its customers a quarterly maintenance service contract which covers air filter changes, water filter cleaning, chlorinator cell changeout, salinity probe cleaning, and energy management system review and backup. Bayer HVAC Incorporated services territory in Southern California. As with any new technology, it is important to have a foundation of service professionals that are familiar with maintenance and system operations when problems inevitably arise. Technical support for Climate Wizard is available from Sealy by phone or online. Customers can also book a service visit through the manufacturer's website or directly with a service provider in their local area.
Everybody has doubts first. What we had to do is we had to monitor it, put the control system in so they could see instantly on their computers what the outside ambient is, what the supplier temperature was. Seeing is believing. We actually brought the units into our office and did extensive testing on them. And so we saw what it could do with ambience in the range of 115 degrees. We built our own model, got the ambient up to 130 degrees. We're still supplying supplier temperature in the range of 55 degrees. This is using refrigerant R1718, which is water. So their cost of ownership and cost of operation is so simple that the overall effect is the payback is so short in period of time that there's really no really resistance to the purchase.
Do they see it in the very next bill?
You can see it in the very next day. Yeah, it's an amp probe. So where your air conditioner was running 30 amps before, now it's running 2.2. That's pretty much the story. The John L. Sullivan Group in the Roseville Auto Mall, he has 42 units, and we put it in for energy management. We went with a solar program. So he put in solar, put in cool roof, LED lights, and his experience was if he's going to go solar using his existing equipment, he did not have enough geography on his dealerships for the solar panels. By incorporating the Climate Wizard, seeing where about 80 to 90% less energy, his solar array was diminished by 50%. It sits on his own property, and he was able to finance this entire project through Empower, which is the financing through the county. So now he is running an operation where his shop temperatures were running at 95 degrees and now running in the low 70 degrees. His technicians are much more comfortable, and his overall experience has been very positive. He's one of our greatest ambassadors.
Do you have any idea how much energy is saved or money is saved?
Energy-wise, it's well published. It was done by Roseville Electric. It's in the range of 88% energy reduction, given the combination of all the technologies.
Climate Wizard minimizes water use by utilizing water-retaining materials in the wet channels of the heat exchanger. It can work with water supplies of varying quality. The cost of the water used is a small fraction of the money saved from reduced electricity consumption and peak demand. The The cost of a Climate Wizard installation varies with the project details, including the number and size of units. The manufacturer estimates that Climate Wizard installations typically cost about $6 per CFM of supply air delivered. Distributors work with potential customers to calculate the expected payback period before an investment is made. Of course, actual payback will vary in each circumstance, based on factors like hours of operation and numbers of units, but many customers who have installed the Climate Wizard report payback in a few years.
Do you or do your customers keep track of how long it takes to pay off these sorts of things?
That's part of the original acknowledgement. Given the fact that it's Climate Wizard only, we're in the range of Tri-Tool, which is the largest unit in the United States. His payback was well under 2 years.
Some customers in California have been able to secure custom rebates from their utility to install Climate Wizard on their buildings. Of course, in those cases, the technology becomes even more cost-effective. Climate Wizard is manufactured in Colorado by Sealy, an Australia-based company that has been producing evaporative cooling technologies for more than 40 years. Climate Wizard is sold to customers through specifying representatives or buy-sell reps. More information on Climate Wizard can be found on the website www.climatewizard.com.
We came upon a challenge a couple of years ago. We have a warehouse that had 3 swamp coolers. And, the complaint was high humidity, and those things are always acting up, and high water consumption. Well, this warehouse it'd be really inefficient for us to try to cool it down with package units, because it has no insulation, and there's really a lot of air leaks and a lot of openings. So you would waste a lot of energy trying to cool an area that's not properly insulated. It has a roll gate for delivery, and it's exposed to the elements. You need to move air. It's 100% outside air, and it needs to blow the hot air out. It does, because of all of the crevices, the openings, and the air leaks. Once we run it, we could see the difference, but we decided to get a second one. So we now have 2 in that warehouse, and they work perfectly well. The maintenance is it's fairly simple. We have a maintenance program here, so for us it's a no-brainer. Every 4 months, our people go up to the unit. They clean the sensors, and it uses paper filters. We order the paper filters. They're 4-inch, 20 by 16 or something like that, and uses 4 of them. You take it apart, and it takes no more than half an hour to perform that type of maintenance on it. But we have a 2-man crew up on the roof, so the 2 of them, 20 minutes, piece of cake. We tested this technology this summer with both units running, and we're confident that we can get what we want from them. And we're planning to use them in gymnasiums, in some of the middle schools and high schools that were built, 50, 60 years ago, and all they have is exhaust fans and heating. But I think they need some sort of ventilation, and this works. This would be perfect for that. We were kind of afraid of it in the beginning, but we're happy with them. We're really happy with them.